Enoch's word of blessing that blessed the righteous chosen, who will be present in the day of tribulation when all enemies are removed. For the righteous shall be saved. Taking up his proverb, Enoch said,
"The man is righteous, the vision from God was opened to him. He possesses the vision of the Holy One in heaven. He showed this to me, and I heard holy, holy speakers, and as I listened to everything from them, and watching I knew. And I did not intend these things for the current generation, rather I speak at the generation that is far off. About the chosen ones I speak now, and concerning them I take up my proverbs. My holy great one will come out from his dwelling place, and the God of eternity will walk upon the earth, upon Mount Sinai. He will appear from his encampment and shine forth in the power of his strength from the heaven of heavens. All will be afraid and the watchmen will believe. They will sing hidden in all the high places of the earth. And all the high places of the earth will shake. Trembling and great fear will take them unto the end of the earth. And they will shake and fall. And high mountains shall break up and the high hills will be made low to slip through the mountains. They will melt like beeswax from the face of the fire and flame. And the earth will be divided, a division like grapes. As much as is upon the earth will destroy itself, and judgment will be against everyone. With the righteous he will make peace, and upon the chosen there will be preservation and peace. Upon them mercy will come, and they all shall belong to God, and he shall give approval to them and will bless them all. He will help them all and help us. Light will shine on them, and he will make peace over them. For he comes with his 10,000s and his holy ones to enact judgment against all. He will destroy everyone who is ungodly, and reproach all flesh concerning all works of the ungodly, the things they did hediously, the harsh words that they spoke, and all that ungodly sinners spoke against him. Observe all the works in heaven, how they do not change their ways, and the luminaries that are in heaven, how all things rise up and set, each being arranged in the appointed time. Their festivals are brought to light, and they do not pass up their own order. See the earth and be reminded of the works that are happening in her from the beginning until the completion, how they are perishable, how nothing upon the earth changes, but all the works of God appear to you. See the summer and the winter. Observe well and see all the trees. How the trees are covering themselves in green leaves, and all their fruit for honor and glory. Be reminded and know about all his works, and perceive that God who lives made these things in this way, and he lives unto all the eternities. All his works that he made for the eternities, they all go in this way from year to year. All the works that they produce for him, their works do not change. But in accordance with his command all things come to be. See how the sea and the rivers in like manner produce, and their works do not change from his words. But you did not persevere nor obey according to his commands. Instead you turn away and loudly speak out a great, harsh word with your unclean mouth against his greatness. Because you speak boldly with your lies, O hard-hearted ones, peace is not in you. Therefore you call down curses upon your days. The years of your life will be destroyed, and the years of your destruction will be increased with the curses of eternities. There will be no mercy and peace for you. At that time your name will be for an eternal curse for all the righteous. All those calling down curses will call them down upon you. All sinners and ungodly ones will swear over you, and all the innocent will rejoice. For them there will be a release of sins, and all mercy, peace, and equity. Salvation will be a good light for them, and they will inherit the earth. For all of you sinners, salvation will not be present, but upon all of you dissolution and a curse. And for the chosen there will be light and grace and peace, and they will inherit the earth. But for you, the ungodly, there will be a curse. Then light and grace will be given to the chosen, and they will inherit the earth. Then wisdom will be given to all the chosen, and all these will live, and they shall no longer sin, neither against truth nor according to arrogance, And there will be a light among an enlightened person, and thoughts for a knowing person. And they shall not go wrong, nor shall they sin all the days of their life, and they shall not die in the wrath of anger. Rather, the number of the days of their life will be abundant. Their life will increase in peace, and the years of their joy will increase in great joy and peace of eternity for all the days of their life.
And it happened that when the sons of humans multiplied in those days, they fathered good and beautiful daughters. And the angels, the sons of heaven, saw them and desired them and said to one another,
Come, let us choose for ourselves women from among the humans, and bring forth children for ourselves.
And Semyaza, who was their ruler, said to them,
I fear you may not wish to do this deed, and I alone will be responsible for a great sin.
Therefore they all answered him,
Let us all swear by an oath, and devote one another to mutual destruction, not to turn back from this decision until we complete it and do this deed.
Then they all made a vow together and put each other under a curse in regard to this. These are the names of their rulers: Semyaza, this was their ruler of all the angels; Arithok, Kimbra, Salmon, Daniel, Ariaros, Samiel, Iomil, Chulkariel, Ezekiel, Badriel, Sathriel, Atriel, Tamil, Barakiel, Ananthna, Naniel, Ramiel, Asil, Rakiel, Tauriel. These are the chiefs of tens among them. Then they took for themselves women, each of them choosing a woman for themselves. They began to go to them and defile them. And they taught them sorcery and enchantments, and cutting of roots, and explained herbs to them. But those who became pregnant brought forth great giants from 3,000 cubits. These giants ate up the produce of the humans. When the humans were not able to provide for them, the giants had courage against them and ate up the humans. And they began to sin against birds and wild animals and reptiles and fish, and each one of them ate up the flesh and drank the blood. Then the earth brought up charges against the lawless ones. Azael taught the humans to make swords, weapons, shields, and breastplates, the lessons of the angels. And they showed them their mining and craftsmanship, anklets and adornment, powders and painted dyes, and all the kinds of choice stones and dyeing. Much ungodliness and prostitution happened, and they were led astray and ruined in all their ways. Semyaza taught enchantments and cutting of roots, Armaros, spells of healing, Rakiel, astrology, Shakil, the science of symptoms, Sathil, watching the stars, Siriel, the course of the moon. Therefore the cry of the utterly destroyed people went up into heaven. Then Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel, looking on from heaven, saw much blood poured out upon the earth. And they said to one another,
See, a voice crying aloud upon the earth and to the gates of heaven.
The souls of the humans made an appeal, saying, Bring our judgment to the Most High. And they said to the Lord,
You are Lord of lords and the God of gods and King of the ages. The throne of your glory lasts unto all the eternities. For you made all things, and having all power in all things before you uncovered and open to sight. And you see all things that Azael made, who taught all the wrongdoing upon the earth, and made visible the mysteries of eternity that are in the heaven, and which humans pursue and know. And Semyaza, to whom you gave power to rule those who are together with him. And they went to the daughters of the humans of the earth, and slept with them, and they were defiled, and they revealed all the sins to them. And the women bore giants under whom the whole earth was filled with blood and wrongdoing. And now behold, the souls of the dead shall cry aloud and make an appeal unto the gates of heaven.
And their groaning went up, and it was not able to go from the face of the transgression happening upon the earth.
and you know everything before it came to be, and you see things and you allow them. You do not say to us what must be done for them about this.
Then the Most High, the Great Holy One, spoke about these things. And he sent Uriel to the son of Lamech and said,
Say to him on behalf of my name, hide yourself, and reveal to him the end that is coming, that the whole earth is destroyed, and a flood is about to happen among all the earth, and utterly destroy everything that is in it. And teach him that he should flee, and his seed will remain in all the generation of eternity.
And he said to Raphael,
Bind his hand and foot, and throw him into the darkness. Open the desert that is in the Dajjal and throw him there. And place under him the rugged and sharp stones, and let darkness cover him. Let him live there for the eternities. Cover up his appearance and let no light be seen. For in the day of great judgment he will be led away into the burning. And the earth that the angels removed will be healed, and reveal the healing of the earth, so that they may heal the injury, lest all the sons of the humans be destroyed with the whole mystery that the watchmen ordered and showed to their sons.
And the whole earth was destroyed and laid waste by the works of Azrael's teaching. Ascribe to him all sins. And the Lord said to Gabriel,
Go against the bastards, against the base ones and the sons of fornication, and destroy the sons of the watchmen among the humans. Send them into the battle of destruction. For they do not have length of days, and their fathers will not have any questioning even concerning them, because they hope to live an eternal life, and because each of them will live 500 years.
Then to Michael said,
Go and make known to Semiaza and to those remaining with him, those women with whom they mixed, being defiled by them in their uncleanness. Should their sons ever be slaughtered, and see the destruction of their beloved ones, bind them for 70 generations in the wooded vales of the earth until the days of their judgment and consummation, until the judgment of the eternity of eternities is completed. Then they will be led away into gaping abyss of fire, and into the torment and into the jail, being shut up from eternity. And whoever is burned up and destroyed from the present, they will be bound up together with them until the completion of the generation. Destroy all the spirits of the frauds, and the sons of the watchmen on account of wronging the humans. Destroy all wrongdoing from the earth, and every work of wickedness will be coming to an end. Let the plant of righteousness and truth be revealed into the eternities. It will be planted with joy. And now all the righteous ones will flee, and they will be the living ones until they father thousands, and all the days of their youth, and their Sabbath rest will fill with peace. Then the whole earth will work in righteousness, and the tree will be planted in it and be filled with blessing. And all the trees of the earth will rejoice exceedingly. It will be planted, and they will be planting vines. The vine that they plant will make pitchers of wine. According to each of the sown seeds it will make 1,000 measures of olives. It will make up to 10 jugs. And you, make the earth clean from all uncleanness, and from all wrongdoing and from all sins, ungodliness and uncleanness that is upon the earth. Wipe it away. And all the people will be serving and blessing and worshipping me. And the whole earth will be made clean from all defilement and from all uncleanness, wrath, and suffering. I will never send it upon them again into all the generations of the ages. And then I will open the chambers of the blessing that are in the heavens, also to bring them down upon the deeds, upon the toil of the sons of humans. And then truth and peace will share together for all the days of eternity, and for all the generations of the humans.
Before these words were spoken, Enoch was taken, and none of the humans knew where he was taken, and where he was, and what had happened to him. And his works were with the watchmen, and his days were with the holy ones.
And standing there, I, Enoch, was blessing the Lord of greatness, the King of the eternities. And behold, the watchman of the Holy Great One called me.
Enoch, scribe of righteousness, go and speak to the watchmen of heaven, and he who abandoned the high heaven, the holy eternal place, who were defiled with the women, and just as the sons of the earth, they did the same also, and took for themselves women. You have brought great destruction on the earth, and there will be no peace for you, nor remissions of sins. And though they rejoice in their children, they will see the murder of their beloved ones, and they will groan over the destruction of their children. They will be bound for eternity, and there will be for them no mercy and peace.
Enoch said to Azazel,
Go, there will be no peace for you. Great judgment has come out against you to bind you. There will be neither pause nor questioning for you about which wrongs you made known and about all works of ungodliness, wrongdoing, and sin, all that you declared to the humans. Then I went and spoke to all of them. They were terrified, trembling, and fear took hold of them. They request that I should write to them records of questioning, so that there might be a remission of sins for them, and that I might read to them the record of questioning before the Lord of heaven. For they are not yet able to speak nor lift their eyes to the heaven from the shame of their sin, so they were condemned. Then I wrote the record of their questioning and the prayer concerning their spirits and what they are asking, how there should be for them a remission of sins and length of days. Then I went and sat upon the waters of Dan in the land of Dan, which is from the right side of Hermon toward the west. I read the record of their prayer. As I was put to sleep, suddenly dreams came upon me, and visions fell upon me, and I saw visions of wrath.
Then a voice came, saying,
Speak to the sons of heaven to reprove them. And when I became awake I came to them, and they all gathered together and were sitting mourning in Belsod,
which is between Lebanon and Senesil,
covering their faces. Before them also I reported to them all the visions that I saw in my sleep. And I was beginning to speak words of righteousness, reproving the watchmen of heaven.
the book of the words of righteousness and reproving of the watchmen of eternity, according to the commandments of the Great Holy One in this vision.
I saw in my sleep what I now say with a fleshly tongue with the spirit of my mouth, which the Great One gave to humans, to speak to each other, and you will perceive hearts, who created and gave to reprove watchmen, the sons of the heavens. I wrote your request from the angels, and in my vision I was shown this. Your request was not received, namely, that you may no longer go up to heaven for all time, and you are bound with the chains of the earth for all the eternities. Also, in the same way you may see the destruction of your beloved sons, because their profit will not be for you, but they will fall before you by the sword, and there will be no questions from you about them, nor about your own. Though you are weeping and praying and not speaking every word from the writing that I wrote. And the following was shown to me in a vision. Behold, the clouds called me, and the mist summoned me. The running across of the stars and flashings were very earnest and troubling to me, and the winds in my vision were spread out to me. And they lifted me up and carried me into heaven. I went until I was brought near a wall built with hailstones and tongues of fire surrounding them, and they began to alarm me. And I went into the tongues of fire, and was brought into a great house built of hailstones. The wall of the house was like flat stones, and all were from snow and a ground of snow. The roofs were like the running across of stars and lightning, and between them cherubs and fire, and the heaven above like water. Burning fire surrounds the walls, and its doors were like burning fire. I went into the house which is hot as fire, and cold as snow, and it had no sustenance of life. Fear covered me and trembling took me. I was shaking and trembling, and I fell. I looked again at my vision, and behold, another door opened in front of me. This was a great house and all was built with tongues of fire. It was all worth more in glory and honor and greatness such that I am not able to point out to you its glory and its greatness. Its ground was of fire, and its upper part was lightning and the spreading out of stars, and its roof was burning fire. I looked, and I saw a high throne, and its appearance was like crystal, a wheel like the sun shining brightly, and a mountain of cherubs. And below the throne, burning rivers of fire were going out, and I was not able to see. And the great glory was seated upon it, its covering like the appearance of the sun, brighter and whiter than all snow. and all the angels were not able to go into this house and see his face because of the honored and esteemed one. And all flesh was not able to see him. The fire was burning in a circle, and the great fire stood beside it. No one comes near to him in the circle. Numberless 10,000 stood before him, and all of his reason is a work. The holy ones of the angels who come near to him do not withdraw with the night, neither do they leave him. Until then I was cast upon my face in trembling. And the Lord called me with his mouth, and said to me, "Come here, Enoch, and hear my word." And one of the holy ones came to me and woke me, and stood me up, and brought me to the door. I bowed my face down. And answering, he said to me, "The true human, a human of the truth, the scribe." Then I heard his voice say, "Don't be afraid, Enoch, a true human and scribe of the truth. Come here and hear my voice. Go and say to those who sent you, it was necessary for you to ask about the humans, and not the humans about you. On what account did you abandon the high, holy heavens of eternity, and sleep with the women and be defiled with the daughters of humans, and take women for yourselves? You acted just like the sons of the earth, and you fathered children for yourselves, giant sons. And you were holy, living, eternal spirits. But then you were defiled with the blood of the women, and with the blood of the flesh, you brought forth children, and you desired the blood of humans, just as any of those of flesh and blood do, those who die and are destroyed. Because of this I gave women to them in order to be impregnated and procreate children by them this way, and so that not every work comes to an end for them upon the earth. You were living eternal spirits, and not dying into all the generations of eternity. And because of this I did not make wives available for you. But the spirits of heaven, their dwelling is in heaven. And now the giants who are born from the spirits, even the strong spirits of flesh upon the earth, their dwelling will be on the earth. Evil spirits went out from their body, for they came from the higher places, and the beginning of their creation and foundation is from the watchful holy ones. They will be called evil spirits. And so for the spirits of heaven, their dwelling will be in heaven, and the spirits that are born upon the earth, their dwelling will be upon the earth. The spirits of the giants were doing unjustly, destroying, attacking, and wrestling with each other and thrown together upon the earth, the hard spirits of the giants. They are making courses, and no one is eating, but they are fasting and thirsting and stumbling spirits. These will rise up against the sons of men and women, because they have gone forth from them.
During the days of slaughter, destruction, and death, when the spirits are proceeding from the life of their flesh, there will be destruction without judgment. Thus they will be destructive until the last day of the great judgments, in which the great eternity will be completed. And now to the watchmen whom you sent to ask about those who were in heaven.
You were in heaven, and you knew every mystery that is not uncovered for you, and the mystery that is coming from God. Now you reveal this to the women in your hardness of heart, and by this mystery the women and men increase evil upon the earth. Say therefore to them, there is no peace. And they took and led me away into a certain place, in which those who were there become like burning fire, and, whenever they desire, they appear as humans. Then they led me away into an opaque place, into a mountain, where its peak went up to heaven. There I saw a place of luminaries and the treasure of stars and thunder, and into the depths of air where there is a bow of fire, arrows and their housings, and all kinds of lightning. And they led me away to living waters, and to the fire of the setting sun that also causes all the settings of the sun. I saw the great river, and went up to the great river and to the great darkness, and I departed to where no flesh walks around. I saw the winter winds of the darkness and the outflow of the depth of all waters. I saw the mouth of the earth of all the rivers and the mouth of the deep. I saw the treasures of all the winds. I saw that in them he ordered all creation and the foundation of the earth. And I saw the stone of the corner of the earth, I saw the four winds lifting the earth and the firmament of the heaven, and they stood between earth and heaven. I saw the winds of the heavens turning and completing the wheel of the sun and all the stars. I saw the winds upon the earth lifting up with a cloud. I saw the limits of the earth and the support of the heaven above. I passed by and I saw a place being set on fire night and day, where there are 7 mountains made from costly stones, 3 placed in the east and 3 in the south. And the ones toward the east were from colored stone, and the other one was from pearl stones, and another from stretched stone, and the one against the south from red stone. The middle one of these was in heaven like the throne of God from alabaster stone, and the head of the throne from sapphire stone. And I saw burning fire beyond these mountains. There is a place at the end of the great earth. There the heavens will be completed. And I saw a great chasm and a pillar of fire going down, and there was no measure to it, neither in depth nor in height. And beyond this chasm I saw a place where there was neither firmament of heaven above nor earth having lain a foundation below it. Neither was there water under it, nor birds, but there was a place desolate and terrifying. There I saw 7 stars like great burning mountains, about which I inquired. The angel said, "This place is the end of heaven and earth." This prison was in the stars and in the powers of heaven. And these stars rolling along in the fire are those passing beside the ordinance of the Lord in the beginning of their rising, for the outer place of heaven is empty, because they do not go in their time. And he was angry with them and bound them up for 10,000 years, until the time of completion of their sins. Then Uriel said to me,
Here the angels who are mixing with the women shall stand, and their spirits, becoming multiform, shall treat the humans with indignity. And they will lead them astray to burn incense to the demons until the great judgment, in which they will be judged so as to bring about perfection. And their women whom angels led astray will be as sirens.
And I, Enoch, alone saw the visions, the limits of all things, and not even one human shall see as I saw.
These are the angels of powers. Uriel, one of the holy angels, who is over the world and the Tartatus. Raphael, one of the holy angels, who is over the spirits of humans. Raguel, one of the holy angels, who avenges the world of luminaries. Michael, one of the holy angels, who is appointed over the good ones of the people and over the chaos. Sariel, one of the holy angels, who is over the spirits who sin in the spirit. Gabriel, one of the holy angels, who is over orchard and the dragons and cherubim. These are the 7 names of the archangels.
Then I visited an unprepared place. There I beheld an awesome work. I saw neither heaven above, nor did I behold the established earth, but an unprepared and fearful place. And there I beheld 7 of the stars of heaven bound and thrown into like great mountains burning with fire. Then I said, For what reason were they bound, and on what account were they thrown here? Then Uriel, who is one of the holy angels who was with me and who went before the angels, said to me,
Enoch, for what reason do you ask, and why are you zealous for the truth? These are from the stars of heaven, those passing by the command of the Lord. And they were bound here until the fulfillment of countless years, the time served for their sins.
From there I visited another place that is more fearful, and I beheld awesome works. In that place a great fire was lighted and burning, and the place had a crevice into the deep, full of pillars of great fire going down. Neither measure nor breadth was I able to see or conjecture. Then I said, How fearful is this place, and how terrible in appearance! Then one of the holy angels who was with me answered, saying to me,
Enoch, why are you terrified and trembling in this way?
And I answered, Because of this fearful place, and because of the appearance of this terror. And he said,
This place is a prison of angels. They will be held together here until the eternity of eternity.
From there I traveled to another place, and he showed to me another great and high mountain of stiff rock in the west. There were 4 hollow places in it, having depth and exceeding smoothness, 3 of them dark and 1 shining, with a spring of water coming between it. And I said, "How smooth are these hollows, great depths and dark places in the vision." Then Raphael, who is one of the holy angels who was with me, answered and said to me,
These places are hollow in order to gather together the spirits of the dead souls. For this very thing they were judged, to gather together here all the souls of humans. And these places for their reception were made until the day of their judgment, until the division and limitation of time, in which the great judgment will be with them.
I looked on the dead humans who were petitioning, and their voice went up to heaven pleading. Then I asked Raphael, the angel who was with me, saying to him, "This petitioning spirit, from whose voice does it go up to heaven, petitioning in this way?" And he replied to me, saying,
This spirit comes from Abel, whom his brother Cain murdered. Abel petitions him until Cain's seed is destroyed from the face of the earth, and his seed is removed from the seed of humans.
Then I asked about the whole circumference, why the one is separated from the other. And he answered me, saying,
These 3 were made to separate the spirits of the dead, and so it is separated for the spirits of the righteous, where the spring of water is shining in it. And so it was created by the sinners, when they die and are buried in the earth, and judgment has not happened to them in their life. Their spirits are separated here for this great torture until the great day of judgment, by whips and tortures of the accursed. It was a recompense of the spirits until eternity. He will bind them there until eternity. In this way there is a separation for the spirits of those petitioning, and who are revealed concerning the destruction, when they were murdered in the days of the sinners. And in this way it is created for the spirits of the humans, and who will not be holy but sinners, and who are ungodly, and they will be companions with the lawless. But the spirits, because the oppressors here punish the smaller of them, they will not be punished in the day of judgment, nor will they rise from them.
Then I blessed the Lord of glory, and I said, "Blessed are you, O Lord, the ruler of righteousness, who rules for eternity." From there I visited another place toward the west of the ends of the earth. And I gazed at the fire running across that was neither stopping nor leaving the course, but at the same time remaining by day and night. And I asked, "What is the thing that has no rest?" Then Raphael, who is one of the holy angels who was with me, answered,
This course of fire that is toward the west is the fire chasing away all the luminaries of heaven.
And he showed me mountains of burning fire at night. And beyond them I went and gazed at 7 mountains, all of them glorious, each differing from each other, the stones of which were honored in beauty, and all of them honored and glorious and well-shaped. 3 were set upon the east with the one, and 3 upon the south with the one. There were also deep and rugged ravines, never one coming close to the other one, and to the mountain, the 7th mountain between these, and it was held above the height like the seat of the throne, and well-shaped trees were around it. And there was a tree among them that I had never smelled, and no one else was cheered by it, and none other was like it. It had a sweeter smelling fragrance than all other sweet spices, and its leaves and blossom and wood do not wither for eternity. Concerning the fruit, they were like clusters of date palms. Then I said, "How beautiful and sweet-smelling is this tree! Beautiful are its leaves and blossom, beautiful is its appearance." Then Michael, one of the holy angels who was with me, answered me, and he went before them. And he said to me,
Enoch, why do you ask and why do you wonder at the smell of the tree, and why do you want to learn the truth?
Then I answered him, "I want to know about all things, and especially about this tree." And he answered, saying,
This high mountain, of which the head is like the seat of the throne of God, upon this the great holy Lord of glory, the King of eternity, sits whenever he goes down to consider the earth with goodness. And as for this sweet-smelling tree, no flesh has power to touch it until the great judgment, in which there is vengeance for all and a completion until eternity. Then its fruit will be given to the righteous and holy chosen ones for life and for food, and it will be transplanted to the holy place from the house of God, King of eternity. Then the cheerful will be cheered and will rejoice. and they will go to the holy place. Its fragrance is in its bones, and they will live much more life upon earth, such as your fathers lived. And in their days, torments and blows and whips will not touch them.
Then I blessed the God of glory, the King of eternity, who prepared such things for righteous humans. He created them and declared that he would give to them. And from there I traveled to the middle of the earth, and I saw a blessed place, in which there were trees having lasting budding branches from a prune tree. There I beheld a holy mountain. Below the mountain there was water out of the east, and it headed west to the south. And I saw toward the east another mountain higher than this. Between it, a deep ravine having no breadth, and water went through it, below under the mountain. And toward the west another mountain lower than this and having no height, with a deep ravine and a dry place between them, and another deep ravine and a dry place upon the highest point of the three mountains. And how many are the deep ravines from the stiff rock with no tree planted upon them? And I wondered about the ravine, I wondered deeply. And I said, on what account is this land blessed and all full of trees, yet there is this cursed ravine?
The accursed land is for those who are cursed until eternity. Here all those accursed ones will be gathered together, any who will speak with their mouth in all unfitting voice against the Lord. For they speak harsh things about his glory. They will be gathered together here, and the dwelling place will be here. In the last eternities, in the days of true judgment against the righteous for all time, here the pious will bless the Lord of glory, the King of eternity. In the days of their judgment they will bless him with mercy as he divides them.
Then I blessed the Lord of glory, and they manifested his glory and sang magnificently. And from there I went into the middle of Mount Obara, and I saw a desert in it. It was alone and full of trees. And the water is born from above without rain from the seeds, like abundant water brought forth toward the northwest, it brought up water and dew everywhere. Yet from there I went into another place in Babdora, and toward the east of this mountain I departed. And I saw trees of judgment blowing sweet aromas of Lebanon and myrrh, and their trees were like nut-bearing trees. And beyond these I departed far off toward the east, and I saw another great place, a ravine of water in which there was also a colored tree of sweet aromas like a mastich tree. Also from the lip of these ravines I saw a cinnamon tree of sweet aromas, and beyond these I departed toward the east. And I saw other mountains, and among them groves of trees, and nectar going out of them, which is called Sarda and Galbanum. And beyond these mountains I saw another mountain toward the east of the ends of the earth, and it was all full of trees at once in the likeness of almond trees, and when they were crushed, indeed, they were more sweet-smelling than every sweet aroma. Into the northeast I looked upon 7 mountains full of good nard, mastic trees, cinnamon, and pepper. And from there I went up to the beginnings of all these mountains, which are far off, a long way toward the east of the earth. And I stepped across above the Red Sea, and I departed over the highest point. From here I stepped across above Zadiel. I came toward the orchard of righteousness, and I saw far beyond these trees, many more grape trees. 2 that were there were very great and beautiful, held in esteem and magnificent, and also the tree of wisdom from which holy ones eat the fruit and know great wisdom. That tree is like the fir tree in its height, its leaves like the carob tree, its fruit like very cheerful clusters of the vine, and its smell was carried away, far off from the tree. Then I said, how beautiful the tree, and how pleasing to behold. Then Raphael, the holy angel who was with me, answered, this is the tree of wisdom from which your father ate.
And the dogs began to eat up the sheep, and the pigs and the foxes also ate them up until the Lord of the sheep awakened one ram from the sheep. And this ram began to pursue and gore them with its horns, and collided with the foxes and also the pigs. And they destroyed many pigs and also outraged the dogs. And the sheep, the eyes of which were opened, looked upon the ram which was with the sheep, until it relinquished its way and began to go to the open place without roads. And the Lord of the sheep sent off this lamb to the other lamb. It stood as the ram in leading the sheep in place of the ram that relinquished its way. And he went to him and spoke to him in a whisper privately, and he raised him into a ram and into a ruler and into a leader of the sheep. And the dogs over all of these were afflicting the sheep. And the first ram pursued the second ram, and it fled before him. Then I looked at the first ram until he fell from the face of the dogs. The second ram leaping up led away the sheep. And the sheep were strengthened and multiplied, and all the dogs and foxes fled from the ram and were terrified by him. From the mountain on which they made a vow they also condemned their neighbor, because cold and snow and frost shall not depart from it for eternity, and dew shall not go down on it, unless it will be brought down upon it as a curse, until the great day of judgment. In that time he will be burned up in fire and brought low, and he will be burned up and melted like wax by the fire. So he will be burned up concerning all his works. And now I say to you, sons of humans, there is great wrath against you and against your sons. And this wrath will not cease from you until the time of the slaughter of your sons. And your beloved ones will perish, and your honored ones will die from all the earth, because all the days of their life from the present, there shall not be many who live the 120 years. And you shall not think to live for many years further. For from now on they have no way of escape, on account of the wrath with which the King of all the eternities was angered against you. Do not think that you will escape these things,